Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my channel, and today, wow, we're almost getting halfway there. We're almost halfway through the 30-day challenge. This is day 12 of the CEO challenge, and we're halfway there, like I said, and wow. So today, I really want to go through a few things just so that we're getting more clarity on our vision, our habits, our practices, our daily productivity, the CEO being the world class that you are, and that you're able to work on your high value task first thing in the morning. So today I'm going to be going through like sort of a reflection of what you should be thinking about. Okay, so I'm going to go through this, and I just want to mention this because it's important that we have as much clarity as we possibly can. For example, so I'll go through some of the aspects of the week which we covered, and what I'm going to start doing in each of these videos, I'm going to get my team member to put in the links for each CEO challenge for each day going into each CEO challenges, so that you've got a whole list, so that when you do watch the CEO challenge, it's easy for you to find. Okay, so it's not like you're going to be jumping on day 11 and then you're jumping on day 20. So I'm going to put each of the CEO challenge days in each one of the videos. So 30 days of training, you'll be able to access the full course from there, for example. So this is the 30-day challenge, and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a link here as well, and I'm going to put a workbook so that you can download it and you'll be able to work week by week with that. So that should be ready next week, for example, and we're going to work through this together, for example. Okay, so we really want to just go through things and look at how your day has been for the week, for example. So on day 1 we covered quite a lot, so we're literally on day 12, for example. So day 1 we did CEO mindset shift, and that's in case you've missed any of this. So I want you to be aware of what we've covered already, for example, and I will put the links here for you to go back and watch each of those videos if you've not watched the previous videos before. So welcome, I am Christine Crowell. I am a CEO. I'm also a coach, a business coach, and I usually specialize in healthcare, but I also specialize in business because I've been in business for 35 years, for example. And I've got some videos here explaining my story and a bit about who I am, but I'm not going to go into that today for the CEO challenge, because I think it will be good for you to go through my videos and see some history, for example. So we're going to look at, let me just go here and see my screen, just make sure everything is okay. Excellent. Okay, wonderful. I'll just go and look on my stream. Yes, excellent. Everything looks to be okay to me. I'll just go back into my live. So like I said, day 1 is the CEO mindset shift, and day 2 is we created the daily habits for success, and this was to do with enhancing and establishing a daily routine, a daily habit, and what learning points did you get from that as well. So I'd like you to go back to those videos previously. And then we also did some exercises where you identified your habits, for example, your new habits that you're creating right now, for example, so that you're able to build the best business that you possibly could build, for example. Then day 3 was monetizing, identifying the best way that you can grow your business, but also what is the market for you to be able to penetrate and to work on and to grow with your business as well. So we covered that, and that was basically where you was looking at what points that you could really push through the barriers, conducting research and identifying your market needs, for example. Then we did some exercises where you wrote a clear problem that you could see, a problem statement, and you also would write what your findings were, for example. And then we talked about, so that was day 3. So day 4 is where we went into CEO habits for elite performers as well. I'm just going to drink my tea. So the overview is here is that you were able to check your performance habits, see what you was doing, and elevating your effectiveness. You know, it's all about productivity as well, and what strategies that you needed to focus on in order to make it a priority for you to be able to manage your time effectively, for example. So ways to cultivate high performance as well, habits daily. That's something which you would have been working on. And then day 5 was building your best self. You know, who is your best self? Who is that person? What do they look like? What do they do? How do they behave? So when you're looking at facing challenges, then think about how your higher self would deal with those challenges. Do not run a business on emotion. I did that many years ago. Don't run a business on emotion. You've got to run it on thought, and then you've got to be your higher self when you're looking at responding to those challenges, because challenges are there to grow you. It's not a bad thing. I used to think it was a bad thing, don't get me wrong. But I know now that it is a challenge. A challenge is there to grow you, to turn you into this beautiful butterfly. It's not something that you should run away from, for example. So then, like I said, day 5 was about building your best self. Day 6 was about your business model, your winning business model. And that is where the overview is that you looked at the learning points and you looked at the 5 core elements to the business model, for example. Then we had day 7. Now day 7 is where we went into deeply, for example, and we went through the strategies to make you stand out, because you don't want to be like everyone else. You want to stand out. But what makes you unique? What makes you different from the others? Okay? The learning points here was the strategies that you're setting your business apart from everyone else. What makes you stand out? Why are you so different? You got to be aggressive with your marketing as well. So you did some exercises again here. You wrote down, and you wrote down your business profession, but also what is it that made you different from the others, for example. So moving on to day 8, for example, you also was looking at becoming a groundbreaker, leadership guidelines, leadership strategies for you to be a groundbreaker in your business, where you're hitting the ground running because you know what it is you want and you know what you want to achieve, and you're set out to achieve those goals, and nothing will stand in your way. So the overview is you're embracing leadership, you're setting groundbreaking CEO strategies apart from the others, and you are also knowing how important it is to be authenticity, to be honest, to have integrity, to treat your fellow CEOs with the utmost respect so that you support one another. It's an ecosystem. You can't be just one person by yourself trying to run a business and you're not helping other businesses to flourish and grow, for example. But every business has to put in the hard work. You can't just expect one business to lift up and you're not lifting up with that business and supporting one another. So then there's day 9, for example. I talked about the AI and automation systems. I hope that you've gone through to think about what type of AI or automation systems that you want to implement into your business as well. And we'll go more into that, into these types of products as well. I mentioned the types that you could look at, check them out, see whether they work for you. But I will be covering a bit more on that because it is important, especially with the AI technology that's being used in healthcare as well. So day 10, I talked about meditation, how important it is to meditate for productivity. It's so important. I told you about my morning routine and how I meditate 3 times a day and what it does to the brain, what it does to the focus of your brain and the productivity that you can put out, for example. Then we went through day 11, which was you created an action plan to reflect the groundbreaking CEO strategies that you're able to implement, for example. Then what we needed to do from that point is you now need to look at creating your journal. I will be, like I said, I will be putting it here, and we just need to change it so that it's a link for you to click, for example. And I want you to have a daily, or you can just get a book, for example. I'll show you one of mine. Yeah. So if I show you this journal, for example, that's my journal where I write every single day. And I find it so important to go back and read what I've written in the week, for example. So I'm evaluating my week, which is what you should do in terms of once a week. Evaluate how your week went. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are. Celebrate your big wins. And then look at what went wrong. Why did that happen? Was it because you missed something? Was it because you wasn't focused enough? And learn from it and move on. You know, we all make mistakes. We're not robots. We make mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from it as well. So in your journal, you need to create your daily goals. What are your intentions, for example? Then you can also think about the next thing is your technology, your key takeaways. What was the key takeaways that you learned from your week, for example? You can write things like, what thoughts did you have, to any ideas to explore them further, because you need to look at these things. You're looking at becoming a CEO, you're looking at being world class, you're looking at becoming elite performance, you need to do these things as well. So you want to do a weekly reflection as well and write that down. There's also your action steps. What action steps are you going to take in your business? Because it's all right writing things down and thinking and meditating, but you've also got to take action. It's got to work together. You got to meet what is meant for you, for example. The next thing that you need to think about is your daily reflections. So what daily reflections do you have, for example, for each of those days? Then you can also look at the next thing from this list here is the questions, the ideas that you've got, for example. Then, like I said, do a weekly wins. You know, what happened this week, what went really well, what didn't go so well. And I've also got here an ebook as well for you to have a look at. And this ebook it's 75 pages long. I've worked on it for the week, for example, but it is for CEOs, and it really is just getting you into that habit. Because, you know, although I've mentioned the books for you to read, maybe you haven't got the books yet, but this will give you something to read whilst you're waiting for the book as well. Okay, I'm going to be going through this week as well. I'm going to be going through about the second sets of book for entrepreneurs that you can read, which is amazing. I can't wait to share that with you. I found them very, very informative. And what I also found from it is that I learnt from it. I was able to implement what I read because I read the books that are relevant to CEOs as well. So I just wanted to point that out to you as well. So moving on from that, so we're going to go through the reading of the books when it comes to the week, you know, the weekend, and I'll go through that with you. But I also want to cover with you about, you know, your purpose, day 12. You want to look at the 30-day challenge, but you're kind of like halfway through, and you want to evaluate and do a reflection day. This is what today really is about. I want you to evaluate and reflect. What is the purpose of you really focusing on this? Include, just write bullet points of what it is that you're doing. You want to evaluate your progress from days 8 to 11 this week. You want to evaluate that, and then also you want to reflect on what actions did you take. I'd love to hear in the comments what actions you took. And then I want you to recognize your wins and celebrate them, address them. What challenges did you face? Just had my herbal tea. What challenges did you face? Because, you know, it's not all smooth sailing. There's going to be something that triggered you, or it was a challenge. What was it, and how did you cope with that? Did you face it head on and look at it? What is this that's happened to me? Is this giving me room to grow? You know, it's good. Challenges are good because it's going to improve you. You're going to develop your CEO muscles and you'll get stronger. You will face plenty of mountains. You know, you climb a mountain, then you see other mountains, right? Because they'll need climbing. You know, this is how the world is. We're constantly developing ourselves and growing and developing. So, excuse me. Then you want to review this week, for example, days 8 to 11. and you want to look at the groundbreaking leadership. Yeah, what qualities do you have? Look at the AI and the automation for efficiency. You want to become efficient. The Prime Minister of the UK, he did a talk, well, Chancellor Rachel Reeves did a talk, and they talked about AI in healthcare, for example, as well as amongst other things as well. But it is worldwide. We cannot avoid it. AI is here, and it's here to stay. Love it or hate it, it's here to stay, but it can enhance, it can help you in your business. Believe me, I use it. I didn't think I would, but I use it. So, but obviously you have to check, because it's not always correct. There's things that's wrong, for example. So you need to check to make sure that you, the expert, understands. Okay? So you need to do your action plan as the groundbreaker, and I think that really will help develop you to get stronger as well. And some of the qualities here is that you look at you identify and you focus and develop your skills so that you become your best self, your higher version of yourself. Reflection, questions, ask them to yourself. Implement any groundbreaking qualities that you need to address and adhere to feel good and to grow into your higher self, for example. So what qualities do you want to strengthen? So take action and align with your vision, for example. So structure your challenge, for example. You can put them into sections like boxes, for example. AI is in one box, meditation is in another box, groundbreaking information for your company is in another box, and you've created an action plan. So the action plan is really good about you doing an evaluation day. See how you've done. Review and document your progress. Your action plan, you can use it to analyze your challenges. Look into it. Don't shy away from it. Look into, why is this happening today? What did I possibly do to make this happen? And it is a challenge. And although it may be stressful sometimes and hard work, I understand, I get where you're coming from, because I've been there. But we learn to maneuver, and we also learn to overcome that challenge as well. So hold the faith. Okay? What strategies are you going to use? What new goals do you have? Then you want to celebrate your small wins, no matter how small. So I also talked about fitness, which I'm going to be going into that next week, and I hope you'll be able to join me for the exercises that I'm going to be doing live here on YouTube, and I'll also upload some of the videos that I've done already, for example. Then you want to do an end of day reflection. How did your day go? Give yourself a pat on the back for overcoming any obstacles that you faced in your working day. Don't take things personally. You have to accept the fact that things are going to go wrong. The challenges will happen, but it's not aimed at you. It's the situation. So don't take it personally. Don't get emotional. Okay? The end of day reflection. You want to use your journal in this way to create some headspace. You want to empty your brain and get it on paper So then that way it's going to leave more room for you to grow inside your head, to see the vision, to make things happen. This is the reason why we journal. And I want to also say that, you know, this is really amazing that we're on this day 12. I'm super, super happy. I'm super excited to go through with you on day 13. You're going to learn so much tomorrow, for example. But go back and watch those videos, please. I'm going to go into each one of those videos and I'm going to put all of the links. So bear with me. I'm going to try and do that today, or my team will, for example. But we will get that done for you. So do comment here what you found helpful, what have you implemented, what strategies do you have in place now, how has this benefited you, and let's grow together. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.